Welcome back, I'm Satch. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the cockpit of my Audi A6 2016 C7. You join me in a pretty damp, wet, rainy Newcastle upon Tyne. We're going over the swing bridge right now. And the reason I'm driving this car is I so wanted to get my Porsche out this morning, but I just thought it was wet, it was cold, it was torrential actually at one point. And I just thought my life would be a lot easier if I just got the Audi out. So that's where we are. And I'm going to be doing a full video on this car on this channel soon. So, but that's not what we're talking about. Right now, we're talking about the 718 Cayman Boxster. And if you're anything like me, an enthusiast, a Porsche enthusiast, you'll probably have owned one of these cars at some point. Like I have, I've owned 3. I'll get to that in a second. But overnight, and I don't know if you're aware, but the Porsche configurator, which allows you to go on and sort of create your own spec of a Porsche Cayman or Boxster. Well, overnight that has now been removed from the Porsche website, and yeah, it's one step closer to the whole automation of cars looking and feeling and driving exactly the same, which as an enthusiast is just not what we want. I can understand maybe from a business point of view that the Porsche's figures or the Porsche's, I don't know, their business plan might dictate where they need to go and what they need to do. But as an enthusiast standpoint, it's a bad move. It's not what enthusiasts want. Enthusiasts want internal combustion engines that screamed a high 7, 8, 9,000 RPM even. Well, with electric cars, it's just going to be fake noise. It's just going to be a kind of, well, I'll let you make your own mind about what an electric Porsche Cayman or electric Porsche Boxster would be in the future. But it's not something that I personally would get on board with. And Porsche, a lot of people might think, well, so what? Who cares? And that's cool. I just kind of wanted to switch the camera on just to see what you guys think about this. It's been well documented over the past year or so, or maybe even longer, that the Cayman and Boxster internal combustion engines would be phased out. But it doesn't make it any easier when it actually starts to happen. I've had not that I've owned a 718, but I have owned a 986 Boxster, a 987 Cayman and a 981 Cayman, cars which I loved, but the reason I loved them is because of the internal combustion. 2 of them had the 3.4 engine, and one of them had the 2.5, the Boxster. So, or maybe no, actually the Cayman 987, I think that was a 3.2 S engine, wasn't it? The 3.2, and then the 981 was a 3.4. But they're doing this now. I can understand. Like I say, they've probably got certain targets that they need to hit, certain European standards that they need to hit. But like, if they're doing this now with the Cayman and Boxster, well, where does that leave the GTS, the GT4, the GT4 RS, the Spyder variants? And then even on top of that, where does it then leave the 911? We've already seen a 911 hybrid, which probably hasn't done too much to the brand, to be honest with you. But where do we stand for the next generation 911? Are we then going to be seeing a full electric 911? And then even more on top of that, where do we see the GT3s, the GTS, the GT3 RSs, GT2 RSs, and the Speedsters and the Spyders and things like that? So as an enthusiast standpoint, it's not a good move. We probably all agree with that. As a business point of view, I don't know. Does it make sense? I'm guessing it does. Otherwise, Porsche, they're not stupid. They know how to reinvent the brand. They know how to keep the brand alive, and they'll be keeping up with the times. But in a world with so much variation as the Porsche configurators have shown, maybe it would have been a wise choice to introduce an electric Cayman or Boxster alongside the internal combustion engines. Maybe that's just too much for them to take on. That could be a logistical nightmare. So maybe that's not feasible. I don't know. But I'm just kind of gauging as to how you guys feel about this. What do you guys think about it? Is it the end of Porsche as we know it, or will Porsche just completely thrive from this? curious to know your thoughts. And also I'm curious to know, like, if the Cayman and Boxster has actually been removed from the configurator in your part of the world. So in the UK, it's now been removed, but they've obviously taken a lot of orders, so they'll still be delivering for the rest of 25 and for a certain amount of time in 2026. So like orders which kind of went in maybe like last week will be the last to receive their 718s in, say, like the springtime or leading up to the summer in 2026. They might have pulled it from the UK because it could be a logistical nightmare, whereas other countries it might still be feasible for them to take more orders on these cars for maybe another few weeks, another few months. It all really depends, but that's where we are, guys. How do you feel about it? Would you be interested in buying an electric Cayman or Boxster? Let's say you've got an internal combustion Cayman or Boxster right now, and you were maybe going to think about changing for the next generation. Would you now reconsider? Or if you weren't interested in getting a Cayman Boxster with an internal combustion engine, are you now interested in getting one with an electric engine? Or electric engine? Have I been saying electric engine this whole time? Electric motor. You guys know what I mean. Okay, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.